Hello everybody, and thank you for tuning in to our webinar with the Costa Rica Tourism Board. This webinar is part of Pura Vida Week with Costa Rica in association with TTG. So we have two tour operators with us today. I'm joined by Stephanie Sheehy, who's General Manager at Il Viaggio Travel. Thank you for joining, Stephanie.
Thank you very much.
And we also have Carlos Blanco, who's the founder at Travel Excellence. So thank you, Carlos, for joining also.
My pleasure. Thank you.
So during this webinar, like I said, we have two tour operators with us who are going to be sharing their advice for selling touring holidays in Costa Rica. So that spans itinerary ideas, activity options, and recommended accommodation. Stephanie in particular is going to focus on selling touring in Costa Rica to families, but will also touch on how to sell accessible tourism in the destination, while Carlos is going to be focusing on touring in Costa Rica for the luxury market specifically. But before we get started with your presentations, I just want to ask a few questions about, your companies, so viewers know a little bit more about what you do. So Stephanie, will you tell everyone a little bit about Il Viaggio?
Yes, of course. Well, Il Viaggio is a family business. It's me and my husband. We funded the company in 2005, and we have been working since then, bringing people to Costa Rica to really enjoy our country. We are a 100% sustainable company with all the certifications and verifications of the country from the government. And we are pioneers right now and leaders in regards to accessible travel, which basically means we create itineraries that are for everyone. It doesn't matter if you have a disability or if you have a special condition, or if you're a family traveling with a small baby or a senior. We create that specific itinerary so that families can travel comfortably, and have hassle-free trips all around the country.
Okay, great, thank you. And Carlos, what about Travel Excellence? Can you give us a bit of an intro?
Sure. Travel Excellence was founded in 1996. It's 26 years. It's the same age of my daughter. The company was founded by 4 Costa Ricans. It's my brother, Vanessa and Natalia. We are from San Carlos, from the north of the country, living in the Central Valley, and we decided to create a company to be proud of, to be happy working with, and obviously transmitting this joy to the people visiting Costa Rica. So the idea is happy clients, happy people, but especially happy team serving them in Costa Rica.
Absolutely. Okay. So Stephanie, your presentation is coming up first. Can you just tell viewers a little bit about how it's going to help them sell touring in Costa Rica?
Well, we're going to give all of the travel agents that are going to see our webinar some information on tips on how to really arrange those itineraries so that everyone can enjoy hassle-free trips around Costa Rica. We're going to learn about diversity, inclusion, and also how those itineraries are meant to truly give that spirit, the true spirit of tourism, which is actually live the experience and be happy and travel around the country so that you can actually bond and be family, because family is the heart, family is life. So that's what we're going to be talking about today.
Fantastic. Okay, then take it away.
Well, as I mentioned before, Il Viaggio Travel is a family business founded in 2005. And we created a special, unique division from our company. It's called Family Holidays, because we decided that families need that specific and special touch when they're looking for a trip around Costa Rica. So we have been checking all of our suppliers. We have been designing itineraries based on family diversity. But when we talk about family, what is actually family? So a family trip is basically when 2 or more people decide to create that unique experience, to come to a country, to a destination, and create lifetime memories together. So it's not only about blood relationships. It's not only about mom, dad, and the kids. It can be a trip of a girlfriend trip. It can be mom with the kids alone, or it can be grandpa with the grandchildren. So all of those different families are the big diversity of families that we cater, because as I mentioned, family is a trip where your heart and your soul wants to create those specific relationships and love memories for a lifetime. So I'm going to show you a short video of what I'm saying to show you that diversity and that spirit of family. So after looking at that short video of the diversity of families, we can say that families exist in all kinds of constellations. They come on different shapes and sizes. They all have different ages, characteristics, and interests. That's what makes it unique. All of those members that want to travel to Costa Rica will have that specific need, expectation, dream of what that family vacation should look like. So we're talking, for example, of a family coming with a small baby. We call it the first encounter trip. Or we're talking about families that come with their children that are between 4 and 11 years old. We create treasure hunt experiences where families come to the country and they not only travel, they have to find treasures, answer riddles, be part of those kind of imagination, because it's not only about being in the wildlife, learning about eco sustainability, relaxing and bonding. It's also about learning. It's about having fun in that experience. If we're talking about a family coming with teens, of course, what we do is all those adventures, take them out rafting, canyoning, white rappelling, because we want those kids to just take out all of that energy and use it in a positive way. Very important, multi-gen trips. Those are very unique and are being increasing nowadays. Most of the grandparents want to take their grandchildren, want to take their families out so that they can have those memories together. And multi-gen trip is very important to understand that they have a specific needs as well, like the seniors will need accessibility, will need different elements to make that trip fun for all ages. Special needs, as I said before, Il Viaggio Travel is a pioneer in accessibility, so we cater all the specific disabilities, cognitive, sensory, physical, and not only about having those people that have a physical condition, because when I talk about accessibility, sometimes you only imagine the wheelchair. There's tons of families with restrictions, with different conditions that we have to consider when we're talking about family trips. And siblings escapes, and so on. I can start talking about all the different types of families, but how do we achieve that those families really enjoy a Costa Rica family vacation? Well, the first thing that we have to do is actually decide on the correct destination. And why Costa Rica is that correct destination? Well, because we're a very small country with a very big biodiversity. In Costa Rica, people can, families can explore, can learn, can see a lot of different ecosystems, different activities. They can do adventures, as I mentioned in the teen itinerary, or have culture exchange. All of those can be on one itinerary, or will depend exactly on what that family is looking for. So first thing, decide on that correct destination. And Costa Rica is that first correct destination because we're that outdoor classroom for all ages. We don't need a classroom with 4 walls. We can come to a country and experience and learn more than on a classroom. The second thing that I'm going to suggest is work the itinerary with a local expert. Experts that can show you the real country, that know each supplier, that can say, okay, if you have a family with a small baby, you need the fridge, you need the microwave to heat up the baby bottles. If you're traveling with a senior, you need the anti-slippery floors. So all of those details that make unique each age and each different family, the local ground operator has to understand them, has to have the time to check those suppliers, and of course have direct connections. I think that all of the wholesalers, the travel agents around the world need that local expert that knows the country, that have the relationships. For example, most of our suppliers, we talk with the owners, we know them, we can ask them for special things, you know, we can tell them like, okay, this person is coming in an electric wheelchair, we need to take the beds a little bit higher so we can have the lifts inside. All of those connections and relationships are very important so that the trips of the families can be hassle-free. Understand this diversity and be able to design based on that. The third tip that I'm going to give you is don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to ask, do you have a special need? Do you have a disability? Do you have a diet restriction? Which are your ages? Are there any specific needs based on your age? For example, if we're talking about a family that is coming with a small baby and it has an allergy to milk, for example, and they have to bring special milk. That special milk, do you need a fridge? How we're going to transfer it? How we're going to do the hotels and the activities? Is the baby sleeping on the mornings or sleeping in the afternoons? So that way we can arrange the itinerary based on the ages and needs. I talked about seniors as well, because most importantly, seniors are 20% of the world population in 2050. They're going to travel and they need special assistance. For example, if they're traveling with the walkers, with sticks, if they already need those bars to wash themselves. So it's very important to always ask, what are your needs specifically? And disability, 15% of the world's population lives with a disability, 15%. Just in Europe, there's a big demand in regards to travel with accessibility. And well, in Costa Rica, we're pioneers. We're making that difference. And we're working so that Costa Rica can actually be that pioneer, that leader in Latin America as the destination for all. Fourth, and most importantly, make dreams come true. Please don't forget that tourism, that our work, our daily basis, is actually to make life memorable. We have to make people accomplish their purposes, their goals, discover new places, create those abundant, unique experiences where their spirits, their souls, and their energy will unite and will be just one. So make people happy, make them live. I'm going to show you a short video of what this really means, what accessible tourism, what tourism for all, what tourism should be all around the country and all around the world.
Ahí le puedes pasar, Luis, también.
¿Quieres que me tome
Ponla
foto?
ya.
So after looking at that video, after looking at those gorgeous sceneries of Costa Rica, where you can see the rainforest, you can see the Tortuguero National Park with the boat tours, the wildlife, and you see people with all different conditions enjoying it equally. That's what tourism is about, and that's what family is about. So in Costa Rica, when we talk about itineraries, we have tons of combinations for every taste. And most importantly, it's a destination that can be visited more than once. Talking about itineraries, we can talk about classic ones. A classic itinerary is basically visit San Jose, Tortuguero, which is Costa Rica's Amazons, where you can arrive there only by boat and have 200 different species of birds flying around you. Arenal volcano with the amazing adventures, the hot springs. Monteverde with the cloud forest, and try to spot that special picture of the memory, picture of lifetime with the quetzal, which is a famous bird that you want to see there. Manuel Antonio National Park with its biodiversity, one of the areas with the biggest biodiversity on a very small territory with amazing beaches, white sanded and clear waters. Or if you're coming on the green season, which is around September, August, October, well, we're going to do the Caribbean side, because when it's rainy on the Pacific side, it's clear on the Caribbean. That's why I mentioned that Costa Rica can be visited any time of the year. It actually depends on the dates that are coming, which areas to visit. So the Caribbean side is Sarapiquí, which is the rainforest research stations, learn about, for example, bats or birds, then head to Tortuguero, to the Costa Rica's Amazons, to the Caribbean coast, and then to Rialba. Rialba is also a region of adventures where we have Guayabo Archaeological Monument, the only archaeological monument in Costa Rica. Northern itineraries, we're heading north, Pacific side. So we're doing Maquenque or Caño Negro, which are Ramsar sites. It's very important to visit national parks, research stations, reserve areas, and Ramsar sites so that we can promote and give money to the country so that conservation can be maintained around the country. Maquenque is one of those regions that are very important because it's a Ramsar site, which are wetlands. Arenal with the volcano, Rio Celeste National Park with the beauty of having that waterfall completely blue, which gives you energy and fills your soul. Rincón de la Vieja National Park, where you can use the mud bath and do a lot of spa treatments. And Guanacaste Beach, which is tons of different beaches. In Costa Rica, you can select a beach where you have an all-inclusive, or you have a small boutique hotel, or you go to exclusive beaches where there's only that specific resort and there's nobody else. So the selection of that Guanacaste beach will be based on the interest and needs of that specific family. The Central Pacific of Costa Rica, Carara National Park with the red macaws, Manuel Antonio with the beautiful oceans, Costa Peninsula, it has been awarded as an area with the biggest biodiversity by National Geographic, and San Gerardo de Dota, areas that are off the beaten path, because one of the things of Costa Rica and its safe travels is that you can disconnect from everything. You can be just hugging the tree and being part of the natural energy without having internet, without having your cell phones, just having yourself, your family. So really, Costa Rica is for that family destination where people want to volunteer, see birds, adventures, and most importantly, accessible destination, so everyone can enjoy. Achieve the best family holiday for your travelers by understanding the diversity of humans, by combining those correct elements and information so that the best family journey for that specific family that is asking you for a destination can really achieve their dreams, which is our main goal as the tourism industry. Thank you very much.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Stephanie, for that presentation. It's full of useful tips. I know it's going to be really valuable information for UK agents. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having us and for all the agents to learn about Costa Rica as that special destination.
Absolutely. Okay, so Carlos, time to come to you and learn about touring for the luxury market. Will you tell agents a little bit about how your presentation is going to help them sell Costa Rica?
Basically, the idea is showing how to prepare a couple of itineraries with the classical and the highlights of Costa Rica, combining them into itineraries for the high spending market. And yeah, basically that, how to illustrate Costa Rica in 10 minutes.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Take it away.
So now we are showing here the first itinerary, which is the Deluxe Adventure. Remember, you come to Costa Rica for adventure and wildlife, not for these beautiful beaches, but this is the bonus at the end. So this one is 11 days in Costa Rica. We are trying now, the new trend is putting more nights on each destination and making it longer. So we'll start here. We always start in the Central Valley area, either on the city or the cities around or the mountains around. Here we are going to Bajo del Toro, where El Silencio Lodge is located. This is a boutique property, less than 20 villas. They have also family villas here. We'll stay 3 nights in Bajo del Toro. This area is so up towards to the northeast that we can combine different destinations around. So the highlight of this property is the location, because it is located between the Paz volcano and Juan Castro Blanco National Park. But also we have their Sarchi nearby, and we have a local community that we can interact to. Horseback riding is amazing. So the idea of being here for 3 nights can be also, extended to 5 nights or 6 nights. So we will do a private cooking class in this property. And then the most important, I think, is their trails to walk to the waterfall. There are 3 waterfalls in their properties, but you can plant a tree, you can visit the garden, make your own food with the vegetables you can collect. And then we go from here, from 3 nights in this area to Arenal. This is only 2.5 hours driving to the Arenal volcano area. And you will see we're including Arenal in both itineraries. Why? This is maybe the most visited destination in Costa Rica. So Arenal volcano is not erupting right now, but the hot springs are very attractive, and they are healing, and they are relaxing for the visitors. So this is an area for rainforest, adventure, but also because of their hot springs. We will stay 3 nights at Nayara Tented Camp. Nayara has 3 properties here, and this is the one on the highest level in terms of budget. So in this area, we can do a lot of adventure activities, but also we can interact with the local people. Remember, the northern area, the northern plains are for the farmers producing milk. We produce all the milk that Costa Rica needs. Actually, it is 51% of the milk of Costa Rica. So interacting with the local farmers, it is great in this area, and they're happy to welcome visitors. You can also do yoga in this property, but bird watching is also amazing. From 3 nights in Nayara, we're heading towards north to Papagayo. Papagayo is the beach area closer to Liberia Airport, Liberia LIR. This is the 2nd international airport in Costa Rica, and here we'll stay in Casilla. Casilla is one of these new boutique small properties of Costa Rica. So it looks like a tented rooms. It's really not, but it is amazing. It's beautiful. It is located in an area that you have your own private beach. Beaches are not private in Costa Rica, but in this area, as there's no other access to get into the beach, actually, this is the one for the hotel guests. So here is to enjoy and relax in Casilla. In Guanacaste, for you to know, in Guanacaste, the main hotel chains, the big resorts are located. We have flights for other markets coming from the UK to Liberia. So main resorts are located here, but still, as you can see, we have hotels like Casilla all along the northern coast in Guanacaste are located some beautiful, beautiful beaches with some excellent small boutique properties along the coast of Guanacaste. So this is the area of Casilla. You can see the beach underneath there. You can go by a car. You can do the walk, which is only 15-minute walk. And here is the itinerary for you to know how we move around Costa Rica. So the San Jose is located right here, but from the airport, we'll drive down 1.5 hours to Bajo del Toro. And then from Bajo del Toro, we're going to the Arenal volcano area. Remember, this is 2.5 hours. And then on this itinerary, we're recommending to fly from Arenal to Papagayo. Actually, we're flying to Liberia airport and then driving to Papagayo. Flight time, it is only 35 minutes. Driving time is only 25 minutes here to Papagayo. And then the same, on the way back to San Jose, driving time, 25 minutes, and then flying time, 55 minutes back to San Jose. You can do the driving from Arenal to Papagayo, which will be 4.5 hours, and the same back to San Jose, driving time, 4.5 hours, more or less, okay? We're going to the next one. We're going to a different itinerary based on the classic destinations again, but on this one, this is 12 days, but on this one, we will going to, instead of Guanacaste, we're going to Manuel Antonio. We're going to the Central South Pacific. And on this one, we will start in San Jose in the city. I know you didn't come to Costa Rica for the cities, but this is where most Costa Ricans live. This is where to interact with most people. And this is the place with the best restaurants, I think. So it is worth it to visit San Jose and get to know the city a bit. So one night in San Jose only. This is the Grano de Oro Boutique Hotel, only 34 rooms. Remember this, 94% of the properties in Costa Rica has less than 40 rooms, which is great. So we have a great variety of smaller boutique hotels. So it means you can make an itinerary with a 3, 4, 5-star hotel, but actually those will be small boutique properties, most of them locally owned. So great news for you. Grano de Oro are very close to the center of San Jose. And the idea of including Tortuguero, this is why I put San Jose, because it is the best way to reach Tortuguero. Tortuguero is in the North Caribbean side of Costa Rica. This is one of the oldest national parks. And actually this area, you can see the canals, man-made canals made to connect the lagoons and rivers to reach the Northern Caribbean area. That was the only way to get there, and still it is the only way to get to Tortuguero. By land, obviously the first part, and then boat. And so in the North Caribbean, the only way to get there is by boat and also by air from San Jose. So in Tortuguero, we're staying 2 nights at Tortuga Lodge. And here in Tortuguero, basically, we recommend 2 nights because on the way in, we go by the canal, we see a lot of wildlife, but one of the highlights really of Tortuguero are turtles. This is why the name, Tortuguero, because of the turtle season from July till September. Also a lot of wildlife, 3 species of monkeys. This is a destination, this is more like a soft adventure destination, so we recommend it for all ages. Then from Arenal, as I mentioned, here is Arenal. We're going to Arenal, and you will see why on the map. And Arenal, it will take a little bit longer, but you can fly to Arenal from Tortuguero. This is the good news. So flying to Arenal, we will stay at this time on this one at Amor Arenal. This is another boutique hotel with only 30 rooms, a beautiful one, as you can see. Here we will do, on this one, we'll do more like nature and adventure tours, night tours in this area, very popular, hanging bridges, zip lining, but remember, this is the area for rainforests, local interaction with the farmers, lots of bird watching. So this is a place where you can do volunteer. Wow. And then instead of going to the north, we are going to the Central Pacific. We're visiting Manuel Antonio. We are staying in Manuel Antonio National Park. This is the smallest park of Costa Rica, but the second most visited because of the wildlife, because of its private beaches, because of the many attractions around this park. If someone asks me if I want to stay just in one place in Costa Rica and I want beach, where to go? I'll say Manuel Antonio. Why? Because of their great offer of adventures and wildlife. You can do whitewater rafting from here. You can go to the waterfalls. You can do canoeing. Great, excellent birding in the islands and inland around this area of Manuel Antonio. So Manuel Antonio is a good place to recommend. Sometimes it is busy, and it is busy because there's no big resorts here to choose from. There's no all-inclusive properties in Manuel Antonio. The biggest hotel here is just 120 rooms. So we are selecting this time Macanda by the Sea. Macanda has only 16 rooms. For you to know, this is the number of rooms that in most hotels and the beaches in Costa Rica. 16 is a magic number. So Macanda, good news. This one has a private beach. Remember, we don't have private beaches in Costa Rica, but if you have only one access to your property, you need to open another access. If there's no way to open another access to that beach, then your access is yours. So this property has just one possible access to the beach in this property. So the beach will become like a private property to the hotel. So this is one of the good things and why we have Macanda included in this itinerary. This is a beautiful beach inside the park of Manuel Antonio, and the monkeys. This is the white-faced cappuccino, but we have the 4 species of monkeys in this national park, and the lovely, lovely sloth here. And then heading down, as Steph mentioned before, we're going further south to the peninsula de Osa. We are driving there, which is about 2.5, 3 hours down to the peninsula, and then a bit more, I would say 1.5 hours to reach the lodge we are selecting in this time. So we have here Peninsula de Osa and Corcovado National Park, the most biologically intense place on Earth. And here we're staying in the other side of the park, in the other side of the peninsula. Actually, we're staying at the very tip of the peninsula at Lapa Rios. 3 nights at Lapa Rios Eco Lodge, and this property is amazing because it is not only beautiful, boutique, great for the high-end market, but they have 400 hectares protected around it. They have a lot of sustainable projects they collaborate with. And so this is a magical place with a beach very nearby. Sombrero Beach is right here. So from Osa Peninsula, we are flying back to Juan Santa Maria. And I don't want to end here right now, but this is the way to do kind of a classic itinerary, but still there are so many places that Steph mentioned that are becoming more popular now, like going to the Caribbean, or going to the other places in the Northern Plain, or going to Pacuare Lodge. So remember, Costa Rica has a good variety, not only within the classical destinations, but new of the beaten path destinations. And you can make it as shorter or longer as your clients want to make it. And you can change the budget in different ways, but downgrading a bit the price of the lodges by changing the means of transportation. Instead of going by helicopter from Tortuguero to Arenal, you can save a lot of money, and then selecting another nice property in another area, so you can extend this itinerary to 2 weeks. So the possibilities, as Stephanie said, are endless in Costa Rica. So San Jose to Tortuguero. This is overland to enjoy the canals and to enjoy the park in the middle. We have Braulio Carrillo National Park here. Tortuguero, 2 nights, and then we are flying an helicopter to Arenal. And then from Arenal, we are flying to Manuel Antonio. We do overland on the coastline highway down Puerto Jimenez. Right here, in this area, there is no highway. This is a non-paved road down to Puerto Jimenez. And then from Puerto Jimenez, this is the park. Here is Corcovado National Park. So the last day, we will fly back directly to the airport in San Jose. Okay, this is it. I hope I help a bit of you showing how we can prepare a Costa Rican itinerary. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you, Carlos. That presentation was incredible. The itineraries look once in a lifetime. You've convinced me to go to Costa Rica. And I know you're going to convince agents to sell it as well. So I do have one more question before we wrap up. And it's about how agents can book these itineraries that you suggested today. Carlos, if an agent wants to book one of those itineraries for their customer, how would they go about doing that with you?
They can come to us. They can write to, actually, they can look for a tour operator in the UK and ask them about the itineraries presented by Travel Excellence on TTG presentation webinar. Or they can come to us and say the name of the itinerary, and because we are only a B2B TMC, so yeah, it's by writing an email.
Okay, brilliant, thank you. And Stephanie, what about Il Viaggio? How can agents book with you?
Well, as I mentioned, we worked a lot with personalized itineraries. So it's basically send an email giving us the details of that specific family so we can help you cater and create that specific itinerary for them. But we also have sample itineraries on our webpage in Costa Rica Family Holidays, where there are 15 different itineraries that are commissionable and that can be bought right away on the webpage.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Thank you to both of you for sharing presentations today and all your insights. It's been really, really valuable. And
thank you very much.
Great. Thank you. And thank you to everyone who's tuned in. I hope you've learned something new today about touring in Costa Rica. Don't forget to come back tomorrow to tcgmedia.com/Costa Rica to watch the next webinar of the series as part of Pura Vida Week. The themes are accommodation, touring, which we've just seen, sustainability, nature and wildlife, plus an introduction to selling Costa Rica. So plenty to learn there. So thank you again and take care.